All right. Yesterday night, I finished uploading all the episodes of my interview with this BJP leader, Topali Srinivas. Um, you know, you'll get to see it. It's in small bits and pieces episodes. So now, I just thought I would give you my, I'd give my thoughts, kind of. I thought I would give my thoughts here. No, I decided to give my thoughts. Okay, let me give you my thoughts. Let me give you my thoughts on what I feel about the whole episode, okay? And what do I feel about Topali Srinivas and the BJP in particular, okay? He doesn't know I'm going to say this. I'm pretty sure he'll watch the video. And I didn't know I was going to make this video. I thought I'd just make it. Now, for me, I've not been into Indian politics. I do not know Indian politics. Do I have an interest? I don't necessarily have an interest. But given that, I have an Indian passport, I have to have a little bit of know-how. So, meeting this gentleman was an unplanned event. I never thought I would meet anyone from Congress, let alone BJP. I never thought I would meet anyone from politics. And to be honest with you, before I was very inclined towards the Congress, because Congress looked very westernized, they look very modern. They had the name the Gandhi clan. They have someone like Rahul Gandhi who looks very, he looks educated, he looks very western. Then you have Priyanka Gandhi, you have Sonia Gandhi, she's half Italian. You have Rajiv Gandhi, who was very classy, at least his image. Then Indira Gandhi, who was known as the Iron Lady of India. And you have Mahatma Gandhi, that Gandhi name and the image. And then you have people like Shashi Tharoor, who is so eloquent in his ability to speak. So Congress had this kind of Western look, a Western kind of a brand image, very modern. And obviously the, symbol, the hand. And, However, the BJP, when you think of BJP, you always think of saffron color, you think of Hindu gods, you think of guys with robes, you think of the people wearing tika. There's a very Hindu kind of branding on that, And not that the Hindu branding is good, but it kind of alienates you. It's like, for example, if you say the Muslim Islamic, group, there is a certain feel, like when you say Islam, you get the color green, you get Arabic, you get people with beard, you get ladies wearing abaya. So there is always that branding that is involved. So Congress has always looked Western, BJP has looked Hindu, the Muslim, this thing has looked green, and there's people wearing the, skull cap, or what do you call that? So I've always viewed the BJP as the Islamic version of, India's extremism. Okay, that was at least before. So when I did bump into him online, and he told me he's a BJP, he didn't tell me I think he was BJP. He just told me, he sees my videos about NRIs and he supports them and this and that, and eventually, he told me that he works with the government, he's a BJP worker and all. He never beat his chest and said, I'm a BJP. So he just said that, I am part of the BJP party. So initially, I thought he was sent to threaten me or, in a very cartoonish way to assassinate me. So, but then as we started to talk, I realized the guy was okay. It's not bad. Obviously there is that thing back of the head that what does he want from me? Does he want something? Is there a hidden agenda of some kind? But over the period of time, after speaking to him, I introduced my wife, my baby. To my surprise, he introduced his wife. His wife is very educated, very classy woman who has studied in the US, has a master's. So, and this guy has appeared on the media, and so even that didn't impress me as much. But what kind of impressed me was he was a guy who liked to have a dialogue. He was a guy who liked to talk, and but I'll tell you this: I don't agree with maybe some of his ideas, not most, some of his ideas. And there has always been a respectable, or rather respectful, disagreement. Like, I don't subscribe to the belief that cow is God. He does. I don't believe that at least for me, there is no scientific evidence to universally claim that drinking urine heals from stones and this and that. They believe in that. He believes, or Hindus believe. So these are just few things. And yes, he does. His loyalty to the Hindu god or Hindu gods is greater than his loyalty to a human being, which, if you actually look at it, is same like any Muslim. A Muslim, his loyalty to his religion, his holy book, his belief, his Allah is greater than his loyalty to a human being. So these are the areas him and I do differ in ideas, in belief systems or whatever. But when we keep that aside, there are a lot of commonalities. We both like to exchange ideas. We both believe in hard work. We both believe in loyalty towards our careers or towards our purpose. So how would I, like right now, from this vantage point, how do I rate the BJP? I would say that we cannot, or me, at least me, you cannot judge everyone in the same way. Not every Congress guy is a holy person. Not every BJP guy is a holy person. Not every Congress guy is good. Not every BJP guy is good. And in the same way, in the negative light, not every BJP person is bad and not every Congress person is bad. Okay. If you were to ask me about him, I would say his drawbacks are like anybody else. He has extreme loyalty towards his party, which is, of course, it is understandable. You can't start bad-mouthing your own party. You can't start bad-mouthing your own leader. His loyalty is hardcore towards BJP. His loyalty is hardcore towards Narendra Modi. His loyalty is towards his country. That is without a question. Is there a bias that is there against Pakistanis, against Chinese, against Muslims? Yes, there is a bias. But now before you jump the bandwagon and say, see, I told you, everyone has a bias. I have a bias also against Muslims, against Hindus, against Christians. I have a bias against, let's say, if I meet an African and or an American or an Australian or a Pakistani or a Swedish, we all have our stated biases. But the part is you have to be aware of that bias. One is being aware. And next one is being able to calmly dissect and understand, okay, I'm biased. I have a bias here. Let me keep that aside and let me open my heart and mind and communicate with this person. See, I had a bias against the BJP, a very strong bias. But I didn't let it overshadow the fact that here is a human being who is talking to me. Let's have a dialogue. That is why in my group you have communists, you have atheists, you have religious people, you have Muslims, you have Pakistanis, you have Indians. And I try to keep it fair, So does he have a bias against Chinese and Muslims and Pakistani? Yes, he does. Okay. But does it cloud his judgment as to treat anyone badly? No. Would he hurt and harm anyone intentionally? Absolutely not. Would he, Would he do something to hurt, harm anyone? No, I don't believe so. With regards to Narendra Modi, I think he has made me realize that it's very easy to point fingers against Narendra Modi or the BJP and hold them as a scapegoat for everything. I'm pretty sure if Rahul Gandhi and Congress were in power, maybe more or less they would have achieved maybe the same results or maybe even worse. Personally speaking, I feel Narendra Modi is a much more stronger leader than Rahul Gandhi. Rahul Gandhi, I have not been impressed with him at all. Okay, Shashi Tharoor maybe could have been a very eloquent speaker. Maybe he could have handled things differently. I wouldn't say better. Shashi Tharoor is kind of classy. If you were to ask me among who are the leaders who could maybe do something like Arvind Kejriwal, I don't know much about him. He seems to be in the limelight. He seems to be popular in Delhi. So maybe he could have. Shashi Tharoor, very classy, so very smart man. But then my only concern is he another Obama who talks really sweet but does not deliver anything? You know, we never know. Because politics is a totally different beast. It's a very different arena, man. Not everything is black and white in politics. There are shades of grey, plenty of shades of grey. So my overall experience with Topali Srinivas has been brilliant. I would say that I am really kind of lucky that made friends with him, because I think he's a very mature individual. He's a very mature individual. Even with all his strengths and weaknesses, good, bad, ugly, whatever, we all are, the same. Nobody's perfect. I would say that I'm more comfortable having him as someone who I can call a friend. He has convinced me that BJP has not done everything that is bad. He has convinced me that I think it's better to have BJP in power, at least for now. With regards to the Citizen Amendment Act, I think they have done whatever they have done out of a larger interest. Not a personal interest, a larger interest. And whenever you do things on a larger interest, there is always collateral damage. Let's say, for example, to save a country, if I had to save a country from a nuclear bomb, and there was a village that I had to bomb to destroy terrorists, and there would be 100 people who are, innocent people, but they would die to save the entire country. That is collateral damage. So, for the greater good of others, there are casualties. So I see the Citizen Amendment Act, I see the NRC, I see the Jammu Kashmir issue being done for the greater good of the country, but there are, there will be victims. And the people who suffer, well, obviously they're not going to like it. But like I said, somebody has to take charge. And India is such a diverse country with so many diverse opinions and personalities, religions, cultures. I don't think there is any other leader other than Narendra Modi who can handle it right now. I'll tell you, simple, just try to, if you want to know how difficult it is to handle a country the size of India, just try having every member in your family agree with you and for you to control all of them. If you can do that, and everyone loves you and remains loyal to you and worships you literally, you're a great guy. If you can't do that with your own one family, where people have different opinions and people agree, disagree, and there's chaos, even in your own family, just imagine this man, Narendra Modi, is doing for a country of 1 billion people, where there is absolutely no two people alike, even for the same religion, same region, it doesn't get more complicated than India. So overall, I have enjoyed my conversation with Topali Srinivas. I think my viewpoint about BJP has changed. And I think, it was a great learning experience. He is a man who knows his work, who knows his history. Yes, he is biased. He would never admit that Narendra Modi is wrong. He would never admit BJP is wrong. He would never find any fault or flaw with his religion or beliefs, which is normal for any person. You take a Muslim, you take a Christian, you take even Congress people themselves or communists, it's the same. But for me, I think he's a much better bet than most other people. So this has been my overall experience. Please let me know, how did you find the interview? How did you find the overall gist? There were not very many people who did see the videos. It clocked up to 500 views or something. But whomsoever did see, there were people who are very passionate about this topic. So yeah, his details are put down. Please feel free to communicate with him, agree, disagree. Overall, I think that helps in, making things better for everyone. So these are my thoughts. I'll put the link below for the complete playlist. You can check it out, and let's see how things go on from there. All right, you guys take care. This is me signing off.
Yeah, I know what you're thinking. You can get a job in the Middle East simply by trying, or by magic, through others, or by fluke. Remember that competition is everywhere. Some here, some there, but bam! Loy Macedo is the best.